Ah, it smells wonderful. That's great. Hello everyone, welcome to the Take Care Man channel. My name is Todd, and this week I turned 50, and this is my 50th birthday shave. I'm using some gifts my wife got me for my birthday. I am using the Rose Shave Soap from Caswell-Massey. It is made by the Holy Black for Caswell-Massey. Caswell-Massey is a apothecary, health and beauty fragrance company that's been around since 1752 in the US, and the Holy Black, as you may know, is a artisan soap maker, aftershave maker that is based in New York, and Caswell-Massey is based in New Jersey. You saw my video from about 3 months ago where I reviewed various soap scents from Caswell-Massey, primarily the ones that are geared towards men. The top two that I identified in that video were the number 6 and Jockey Club. And Jockey Club was kind of in my number 2 spot, but I had that particular bar of soap sitting in my office, my home office, and I kept walking by a part of my home office and I kept smelling this fragrance that to me was just intoxicating. I really liked it a lot, and I couldn't figure out where it was coming from. Finally, I figured out it was coming from the soap. And I really couldn't smell that fragrance that strongly when I opened the soaps and tried them in that video. But I fell in love with this fragrance. So what I have for the aftershave splash, and it's actually like a tonic, aftershave tonic, is the Caswell-Massey Jockey Club. And there's no indication on here that this is made by the Holy Black. It only says this that on the soap, and it only says it in one small place. Right at the top up here. I don't know how well you can see that, but like at the very top of the soap, it mentions that it's made by the Holy Black, but it doesn't say it on their website, meaning on Caswell-Massey's website. It doesn't say that anywhere. So Caswell-Massey makes a fragrance called Gold Cap Jockey Club, which has been the one they've kind of used over the last several years. However, in the last couple of years, they reformulated a lot of their fragrances, their heritage fragrances, and called the new formulations heritage version. So this is Heritage Jockey Club, and it smells close to what the soap smells like. And the reason I have the Rose soap is because they don't make a Jockey Club shave soap or shave cream. And what I also received as part of my gift, in addition to the shave tonic, is the Jockey Club, Heritage Jockey Club EDT. And so we'll be putting a little of that on after we use the aftershave tonic. So I've always wanted to use the Caswell-Massey products, so it's kind of special to be using them on my 50th birthday, so excited to use these. I'm soaking a Badger brush from That Darn Rob. It's been soaking over here, and I used the Noxzema pre-shave, did the hot towel, then the pre-shave, then the hot towel again. It's kind of a like pale yellow in color, and the texture of it reminds me a lot of the texture of Abad de la Mattia soap. It's a little grainy. The number 6 version of this soap didn't seem quite to be as grainy, but you can see a lot of little grains in there. This is a rose scent, and it's specifically taken from a rose at the New York Botanical Gardens, and it's called the Sceptered Rose. And what Caswell-Massey's done, along with the New York Botanical Gardens, they've also done this with some of the national parks, is they're able to go in and capture fragrances from living plants, living flowers, without harming the plants. They actually set this little dome over and capture some of the fragrance molecules that way without harming the plant. So this is classified on the website as a floriental spicy. So usually you'd hear a floral or an oriental, but this is a floriental, meaning a flower, oriental, and spicy notes. And it's just sort of a woody rose. It's not overly floral, but you can tell the floral is there. It's beautiful, and to me, it matches the scent that is in Jockey Club in terms of the rose note. So Jockey Club, the top notes are carnation and thyme, rose, honey, basil, and then powder. And You can definitely, that sort of honeyed rose and carnation scent is sort of what you pick up off of this rose soap from Caswell-Massey. Sort of toyed with the idea of lathering this in a bowl instead of doing a face lather, but their instructions on this soap says to load off of this puck. A little reluctant to do that because it's in a metal tin, but I'll just rinse it out and dry it real good afterwards. So loading up the brush here. I want to thank everybody for the birthday wishes. Thank particularly Marion the Barbarian and then IMCDB for mentioning me in their recent videos, and Marion dedicated a video to me and sent many of y'all over to my channel, and also he did a post on Facebook and Lather and Blade, and many of you wish me happy birthday, and I really do appreciate that, guys. That means a great deal to me. If you're wondering, turning 50 does not bother me. I'm proud to be here, just glad to still be in the game and kicking. It's like my mom says, there is an alternative to getting older, and it's not a good alternative. So I'm just proud to be here. So we're getting a lot of lather already off of this sort of shallow tub. We get a lot of proto lather around the sides. Let me kind of pull some of that off. Just realized it got kind of dark when I set that exposure for the up close shot of the soap. Recalibrate that exposure to match my face with the suds instead of where it was before. So that should be a little better there. Sorry about that. The stuff that's about to fall off, I'm just going to kind of rub it on the side. Still preserving the No Shave November goatee. I'd say the scent off of this soap, off of the puck, is a kind of a medium strong. I would say about a 7 out of 10. I noticed there's been a few comments on some of my more recent videos that a few people feel like I've not been hydrating my lather enough, and so I appreciate that kind of feedback. When I first started wet shaving a couple years ago, I bowl lathered more than I did face lather, and but I like the feel of face lathering. Well, we're gonna dip the tips of this brush here, see if we can't work in a little more water into the lather. I've never used a soap from the Holy Black, so I'm not sure what its sort of margin is in terms of adding water, whether it's real easy to over hydrate it or not. I'm going to, rather than dipping, I'm going to use the mister here. Well, I said that, I'm also going to wet the brush a little bit more. Well, as usual, there's suds going everywhere, all over my hand, all that kind of stuff. It's my birthday, leave me alone. All right. Looks appropriately hydrated to me. For the razor, I'm using the Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements Ascension Twist Double Open Comb Copper Razor. This is the replacement version that PAA sent me. I've got a brand new feather blade in there. Here we go for a with the grain pass. one commenter on one of my recent videos, which was actually recorded a couple months ago, but I just now got it posted, said that I was bearing down too hard. And that was in one of the DE shaves, not in one of the shave with the straight or the shave with the shavettes. I have two shavette shaves I've done, one with the feather Kamasori and one with a Parker half D shavette. So trying to be a little more mindful of, as that commenter said, letting the razor glide. Since we're talking about age and birthdays and such, that story or that comment brings to mind a story from when I was in first grade. They didn't have public school kindergarten when I was starting elementary school, so first grade was the first grade that you went to. And my first grade teacher kept me after school one day to help me improve on my coloring, like using crayons to color, because one, I was bearing down too hard, like I was like just pushing really hard with the crayon and going outside the lines of like the the color sheet or whatever. And quite often, if you don't mind the analogy, in life I find myself bearing down too hard. Just instead of really being mindful and letting go and not trying to force things, but just trying to let things happen. And there's a sort of a stress that goes with making these videos too, that you have your mind on actually talking while shaving, which clearly I have a hard time doing. So far, that good slickness on that first pass. We'll see how we do on these subsequent passes. Again, I'm going to kind of angle that down across the grain. So there's a couple of videos in particular over the past 3 weeks to a month that I've posted, and it's not the ones where I use a straight or a shavette, although I'm proud of those as well. But one, a little red there, one has to do with when buying shaving gear can get out of control. And I actually interviewed a friend of mine that I met on one of the shaving forums. And that's probably one of those bearing down moments. Him hiding purchases from his wife almost cost him his marriage. And I have another friend who it was a factor in his own divorce. And I found myself struggling with making purchases compulsively, and people joke about that kind of thing all the time. But anyway, in that video I share my story and how I've learned to set limits to enjoy the hobby, and he shares his story. So it's a longer video, but I've got it time marked in the description. So there's actually chapter marks on the timeline in the description, and you can skip to the parts that might interest you. We offer in the middle there suggestions for how to control your spending and purchases and to strategize those. Another video I did that was actually a viewer request was, because if you don't know about my channel, Yeah, I do shaving videos. That's the predominant thing I do. But I do a lot of things related to men's grooming, but also men's mental health, because that's part of my, passion and mission is to help address men's mental health issues. I'm a trained mental health professional and a university professor, and so that's something that's important to me. And so the requested video was on how to handle headline stress. In other words, how to handle things that are going on in the world when the current events and news seem to be getting out of hand. How to deal with the stress of that. And I won't go into details there, but there's some definite things you can do related mostly to moderating your use of news, your consumption of news. Not eliminating it, but moderating it. But there's many more details in that video. It's a long video as well, but there's also chapter marks in it. So if you just find yourself getting stressed about current events that are in the news, you just feel the stress of what's going on in the world today, I encourage you to check out that video. I put a lot of time into it, researched it well, but I realize many of you here are only here for the shaving videos, and that's completely fine. I will say that video is not partisan in any way. It's not a political video. I do talk about the coverage of politics and the media, but I don't talk about any particular politicians or opinions. I'm just talking about how to be a smarter consumer of news. See what we have. Okay, got a little bit of our usual suspects right there. Maybe a little bit right there. Maybe a little bit under the sideburns tends to be the case. All right. If you're wondering why I was sent a replacement copper ascension razor, you can watch that my video called Fire and Ice Painful Shave. I address it in there, but basically the copper plating was coming off part of my razor. So Doug and Fran sent me another one, but I go into more details and show pictures in that video. Okay, I think we're good there. A little bit there. That's going to be good. All right, I'm going to rinse off and we'll come back with the toner. Okay, that rose scent was really nice. I enjoyed it quite a bit. The soap performed great. No problems with it at all. So let's go into the toner. It smells wonderful. This is the Jockey Club, the Heritage Jockey Club scent. Which is this sophisticated, floral, woody, powdery fragrance. I really enjoy it. Ah, it smells wonderful. That's great. And even though I'll probably change shirts in a little bit because I got lather on it, I'm going to use some of the EDT. This comes in a really nice bottle. It doesn't feel like that label is waterproof, so I probably need to watch having it in the bathroom. And then the back, I don't know how well you can see that, but it's kind of embossed with Caswell-Massey. So we'll just spray a little of this on. Yeah, that stuff's really nice. But yeah, like I said, I'm just so thankful and grateful to be in relatively good health, to be here, and to have been blessed with the friends and family I have. And you know, this has been just incredible to make new friends in this particular hobby, and for those friends to reach out to me, wish me happy birthday, notice it was my birthday, etc. So that means a lot to me, guys. I really appreciate that. And you guys are a real system of support for me. To have friends out there I can talk to and share a hobby with, it means a great deal to me. So I appreciate you watching the video, and until next time, take care, man.